What up, wrestling fans? FaceManBuddha. I wanted to do a review of Monday Night's Raw from September 14th, 2015. I'm going to do a quick synopsis of the matches and then basically talk about one match which to me had more importance, but that's just my opinion. It started with the Authority in the ring. Problem with that is they keep flipping the face-heel persona of themselves, meaning Stephanie and Vince. And that gets a little lost in translation, so to speak. It's not that it's hard to follow, but it is hard to follow because they come out as heels for such a long time, and then one week they'll come out and basically do face stuff and get cheers and jeers. And it's just kind of strange. I really think they should stay on one side, or if they're going to be face, then stay face for a while, rather than kind of going back and forth, which really doesn't make any sense. Basically confuses the person watching or the viewer. Also, it's kind of convoluted writing, or can be argued as convoluted writing, because they're going back and forth and playing both sides rather than just making a clear cut as one or the other. Second thing is the New Day came out. Of course, Triple H had to dance with them because Stephanie was dancing, kind of funny, haha, Triple H is supposed to be actually a pretty funny person. He seems, in some of his interviews, when he's more himself, he seems to be pretty funny. Doesn't seem to be so serious, but you never know. Anyway, then there was a tag team match between New Day. I think it was a three-way tag match, from what I remember. Maybe it was just two, I forget. You'll know why in a minute when I get to the end of my overall opinion of the Raw. But anyway, they had a tag team match. Xavier Woods has really been great. New Day has turned a disaster of storyline for them and characters into something positive. I think the fans are actually starting to chant New Day rocks. A portion of them before was wholeheartedly New Day sucks, but that's still good to get a reaction. I mean, look at some of the women champions of today. They don't garner any reaction from the fans. You get a smattering of applause, and somehow they think that that's good, especially for a heel champion that 100 people clap out of a stadium full of 12, 13, 14, 15,000 people. Even if it's 10,000 people and you get 200 clapping, I mean, that's 2% of your audience is actually, acknowledging this woman heel champion. But anyway, after that, Flair and Charlotte had a promo backstage, which was cool. Flair was very excited, obviously, so that was cool. Then you had Paige versus Sasha Banks, which was probably one of the best things of the night because they could actually wrestle. However, I have to give it to Sasha. Again, Sasha won, but the point when I mean giving it to her is I think she's actually a better wrestler than Paige. I like Paige very much. When she came in, I was very happy that she came in. I found out about her background. She comes from a storied background. Her lineage is very good, from a complete wrestling family. And I like Paige a lot. I think what's happened to her, and this is my humble opinion, that the fact that she's in a division, which is called the Divas division, is the first problem. And it's actually titled appropriately because most of the women in that division can't wrestle. You have Tamina, who can. She can obviously wrestle. She isn't anything great. I'm not excited to see her, but she can actually wrestle. And then you have Natalya, who they just keep crapping on, kind of like Daniel Bryan, and not using her at all. And I don't even understand why, because she's actually a good wrestler. But even she looks off with the current roster, with the exception of the few people they just called up, meaning Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks as well. And now you have Paige there. And Naomi's not too bad. Naomi's actually very athletic. She's gotten a lot better. She's actually a lot better than the Bellas. Actually has a lot more ability, natural ability, and actually seems to like wrestling, unlike these two girls who seemingly got into it for the money, because when they first came in, it was, a different scenario. I don't want to go too much into that. But anyway, point being is that the division is so bad, and it's a Divas division, and rightfully so, because there's not women wrestlers in it. And I think Paige has actually gotten, I wouldn't say she's gotten worse, but her skills aren't as sharp, and she's not as crisp, and she seems a lot slower now. And again, that's not a knock on her. It's strictly because of the lesser than people she's wrestling. She's wrestling with people who have just learned some moves and stuff, probably better than the average person who's never done it before, obviously, but for the amount of time that the two big deals, meaning the Bellas and especially Nikki, they've been in the WWE for almost 10 years. It's like 8.5 years. And they were around for 2 or 3 years. I think it was 2 years, and they disappeared because they wanted a reality show based on them. And this was prior to the network and all that. And they went out and wasted 2 years, and that didn't pan out anywhere. So then they came back to the WWE. And by then, I think JC, meaning John Cena, was already dating Nikki. And I think he's the only reason why they came back, and then you see her propped up as champion, which seems like for 9 years now, even though it's not. And she's in, and the Bellas are in every Raw, every SmackDown, every pay-per-view, and they're sometimes on twice in an evening, and they've just been so overly used, and I call them the characterless characters. But having said that, Paige, whole point of that diatribe is that Paige is gone down in skill level just because she's been wrestling crap, or lesser than people. So her level's gone down. I think she is a lot better than she's been lately, and I think she could become very, very, very good again and be a great face and be a great heel. I just think Sasha Banks has more natural ability, in my opinion. Then you had Miz doing Miz TV with the Wyatts. One point, I liked the Miz a long time ago, probably after a couple of years he was in when he got hot and won the championship. No, I wasn't crazy about him, but I was like, I gave him his due. I was like, man, he came, in the hard way, and he's parlayed it, and he's done pretty good. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm just really not. I don't know. I think he needs to do something with his character, maybe go full heel again or something. It's probably better for him to do heel, which I guess he's trying to do. And he does some good things as a heel currently, but I don't know. I'm just the character. I don't know. With the hair and the loafers and barefoot loafers, meaning no socks. I don't know. It's just he's been doing it for a long time. Anyway, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns enter. They say they found a third member for their group, which obviously probably means The Rock. I think it'll get, a good pop, but I don't know if they're going to be over the top. It would be cool if Daniel Bryan actually was the third member, which would make sense. That would be awesome if Bryan came out. I think the fans would go apeshit. That would be the way I'd write Bryan back in, because they've been saying that, even though he's been cleared, the WWE is not clearing him, even though he's been cleared by, the leading concussion doctor that's out there, almost said scientist, doctor that's out there, has cleared him. So maybe that was part of the thing, and I've seen Bryan on some interviews lately saying no, But I don't know. I thought he was being sincere. But who knows? Maybe Bryan will come back. I think that would be a great way to get him back. It's probably going to be The Rock. If not, who knows? Then you had John Cena, JC versus Sheamus. Yet again. All right, match. Nothing great. JC wins. Attitude adjustment. What else is new? 5 moves of doom. Then you had Ryback, who did a promo with Kevin Owens and in Ring One about Night of Champions for their title. I like both of them. I really don't feel a great heat or chemistry between them right at the moment, but who knows? They got a couple weeks, so maybe they'll pick it up. I don't know. Then you had the Nikki and Charlotte match, which I want to get back to, which is the main thing I want to talk about. Then you had, after that match, which I'll get back to, as I just said, you had Cesaro and Rusev. Dolph gives a gift to Summer Rae. She picks it up at the end. Rusev loses. Cesaro wins it. Then after he loses, he gets super kicked by Dolph. That ends that segment. Then you had the main event, The Big Show versus Sting. Like both of them. I think Big Show is very underrated, especially on the mic. I like Sting. I think they've kind of douched him when he came back last year. I think it was last year. He should have won. He should have beat Triple H, but they didn't do that, which was douche, in my opinion. But anyway, Rollins interferes. Then JC comes out and interferes, meaning John Cena. Then it morphs into a tag team match, and it ends up inevitably Sting wins by doing the Scorpion Death Trap, and then he does the Death Lock, and Rollins taps out. And that was the night. So I wanted to more talk about the unfortunate match between Nikki and Charlotte. But a couple things from internet, 7 ups and downs from last night's WWE Raw, September 14th. Monday Night Raw was the final stop of the road to Night of Champions, save for a quick respite on SmackDown with WWE's flagship show holding its now annual season premiere. The idea that Raw 52-week live program has a senior premiere is comical in some ways, but the WWE needed to find a way to play up the program against a Monday Night Football doubleheader that's sure to cut the Raw already dwindling ratings. Raw also needed to bring things home for Night of Champions, the one pay-per-view where all titles are on the line. WWE did a nice job to build for matches on Sunday, as even the matches were made official. Monday night had been building to this money for at least a week or so. So it didn't feel anything was rushed or forced, save for the pay-per-view kickoff match. And even that had a bit of a backstory. We saw John Cena wrestle twice, which is fine considering that he's been putting on solid matches with just about every opponent this year. We got a huge Raw debut that was funny on one hand, given the performer stature and being a debut, and really cool on the other. And we saw the 2 title matches that more or less set up the title defenses at NOC. Yeah, very true. I'll get into my opinion of Raw in a moment. Then we have WWE Raw results, winner grades, reactions, and highlights from September 14th. Charlotte and Nikki. Just 6 days before WWE presents its Night of Champions pay-per-view, Superstars and Divas to Sports Entertainment Premier Promotion rolled into Memphis on Monday Night Raw. In the most hyped match of the evening, Nikki Bella risked her historic Divas Champion reign by defending against Charlotte with a genetically superior competitor to be able to end Nikki Bella's reign of terror over the Divas division or with the champion rack attack her way to another successful title defense. Blah, 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 right? WWE results. Nikki Bella tries to make history, staying in action on Raw for the first time ever. Authority making their way to the ring, blah, blah, blah. Authority introduced a New Day, who will defend the tag team titles up next. Stephanie takes this opportunity to join New Day in there. Well, I guess we can call it hit dancing, not to be outdone. Triple H joins in. New Day versus the Primetime Players. Yeah, it was one-on-one match. They go and Titus tags in. Young, who hit a over-the-head belly-to-belly. Xavier Woods distracts the ref with his trombone to help Big E get the advantage. Really don't go into much results there. Another on WWE Raw. Charlotte defeats Nikki Bella to become the new Divas Champion. Stephanie McMahon reversed decision due to Bella twins pulling twin magic, which is stupid because she already won a match that way and got the belt that way when they switched. So how could she win the belt that way, but she can't lose the belt that way? It's retarded. It's full retard. This means that Nikki will now pass AJ's lead record as longest reigning Divas Champion at midnight, 296 days after as champion. Charlotte will get a rematch at Night of Champions pay-per-view. I'm sure Nikki, being that now she can't be counted out, there's no disqualifications, and she could lose via pinfall and submission like always. Obviously, Charlotte will win, but they wanted to stick it to AJ. So here we have another thing. They're the longest reigning champion. So now she is somehow in here with a true wrestler in Beth Phoenix, who's phenomenal. I wish she was still around or would come back for a short duration. It would be awesome. She was really great. Really liked Beth. I think they could have done more with her character, but I liked her very much. AJ wasn't the best wrestler, but she got a hell of a lot better. And when she first came in, because she was just a girl, and this is a girl who actually loved wrestling from the time she was a child. This is a real wrestler, obviously real wrestler in the sense of more skills. However, AJ got very, very good and learned a lot and had about 2 or 3 great submissions. Her Black Widow was awesome, and she had like 2 other submissions that were really good. Nikki, yeah, she's got the rack attack. Isn't it funny because they call it the rack attack, right? Yeah. Anyway, she got a lot better in half the time than this chick did. And so I view AJ, and plus she had a great character. She was like with 5 or 6 of the top leading guys for a while. You have to remember and pay homage to that. She was with Daniel Bryan. She was with CM Punk. She was with Dolph Ziggler, John Cena. She was with Kane. I'm probably forgetting another half dozen guys she was with. And she played the crazy chick better than anyone. Alicia tried to do it. I didn't find it good. I found it actually kind of annoying or repulsive. I didn't like Alicia. No disrespect to her. I like Alicia Fox, but it wasn't cool. Then Becky's trying to play the kind of ditzy girl. I really think the best 2 people are Mickie James and AJ at playing the crazy girl. They actually played it where you actually thought maybe they're a little off, even though you knew they weren't. They did it well. Yeah, that's not an easy thing to do. So this chick should have never beat AJ's championship. She shouldn't even tied it. Now she's going to be in there. Now she surpassed it as the longest reigning champion, which is unbelievable. Which leads me to my talk about the match with Charlotte, 29 years old. Sasha's 23. This is my girl. I love Sasha. Sasha's awesome. I'm so happy for Bayley. When they had that match, I did a blog on that, which you can see. I'm so happy for both of them. I'm super thrilled for Bayley winning. I wasn't pulling for Sasha. I was actually pulling for Bayley in that match because I wanted her to be champion, and I knew once she gets the belt, within 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks tops, she'll be pulled into the roster, which I'm so happy for Bayley. Bayley, I think, was there first. Then I think it was Charlotte, then Sasha and Becky, or Becky came just before Sasha, something like that. Bayley was around when Emma and Paige went for the championship. That's how long she's been around and been wrestling a long time too. But anyway, you have the Bellas wrestling for almost 9 years now. Came in 2008. And you have AJ, my girl. Don't call me crazy. What'd you call me? Anyway, so I just wanted to talk about these 2. The match was not very good. It was short. And for Nikki Bella to win on the twin magic, as they call it, where Brie comes out, like I mentioned before, Nikki has won the belt at least once, or if not twice that way. I think it was one time. I forgot who she was wrestling. It was years ago, and Brie came in and won. And I think she's won several matches that way and at least one championship that way. And even though you can be technical and say, well, you didn't pin the person in the match, yeah, I get that. But then what should have happened is she should have came out, meaning Stephanie, and she said, I'm restarting the match, and Brie, you have to leave, and Alicia Fox, you have to leave, and you either leave Charlotte's group there, or you remove everyone and you just let Charlotte and Nikki. But that would expose Nikki too much, which is why they have always people around her, because you have to draw the eye off Nikki because she doesn't have that much ability in the ring. She's not fun to watch. Not trying to bash her, I just don't watch her matches and go, wow, that was a great match. She's been in NXT. She's been in WWE for 9 years now almost, and she hasn't had one match that's memorable. Sasha's already had two. She had one with Charlotte, one with Bayley. And Charlotte has had two, one with Sasha, just mentioned, and one with Natalya. So if those four girls already have one or two quality, like almost, I was going to say, career matches already, and they just have only been wrestling a few years with the exception of with the exception of Natalya. So it wasn't a great match between Nikki and Charlotte, as you know it would be. I was glad that they didn't put it on the last because it would have stunk out the building. Nothing against Charlotte. It's because she's wrestling someone who can't wrestle. You put Natalya in there, it would have been a great match. You put Sasha in there, great match. Paige probably would have been a good match. I think when Paige gets back on point, she could be excellent again, but I just think that her wrestling the crapola, the low-skilled women that she's been wrestling in the Divas division, it's made her very kind of lax, and she has to slow things down all the time, and certain things she can't do because they don't know how to do them. So it's just a bad situation. That's why Nikki should have lost last night, and they should have restarted the match. And then when Stephanie came out, that was the one thing I said, the only thing they're going to save this match with now is the fact that Brie came in, is you throw everyone out and you have Nikki and Charlotte. And in my opinion, Charlotte should have just destroyed her, which I know makes Nikki look weak, but Nikki already looks weak to everyone anyway, so no one would have cared. Charlotte should have just came in and beat her up pretty good. But at least restart the match and then let Nikki lose, and then Charlotte wins, and then you have a title shot between Sasha and Charlotte at Night of Champions, and you let them co-main event that match. And then when you do another NXT, you have you have Sasha and Bayley going for a retitled match, and that's supposed to be at NOC. So that should, I would have done it the other way around, but being that they're going to do that, now they'll have Sasha and Bayley go for the NXT champion. But Sasha can't win because she's on the current roster. So what should happen is Sasha should beat Charlotte before that, which I know is not going to be possible because Charlotte will just have it. So I guess Sasha will have to lose against Bayley, because if she wins it, then Sasha's already in the main roster. So why would she do that? Wouldn't make any sense. Hopefully, it'll just have a great match. They should have no disqualifications. Though they might do something with the disqualifications so they both save face, where maybe Sasha does some type of heel thing or something underhanded, or pushes the ref in the way and then she gets thrown out or something like that, or maybe she'll get count out. There'll be probably something like that so they both save face, so Sasha doesn't lose to Bayley and stay strong in the eyes of the universe, as well as letting Bayley have a great match with her and show that she can hold her own and win. That's probably what they'll do. But again, Sasha should vie for the championship in the WWE. She should win it. She should change the belt, boss it out, and say this is a women's championship belt. It's not the Divas division anymore. This is the women's division. She should really push that. And I know Paige would help her, but she should really push that. But I don't know if Vince would allow that to happen. He likes the Divas division. He likes the Monarch programming belt, meaning the butterfly belt. That's a nod to Monarch programming. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's about mind control and sexualizing women at a young age. But anyway, it's just I hate that belt. I always disliked it, and I think they should make a new one. Paige said if she wanted, she'd want to make a new one. They should let the newest champion, or even if Charlotte wins it, maybe she should change it. I just think it would be better and more appropriate if Sasha did it, because she's the boss lady, whatever you want to call it. And I think it would be better if she came in and won the belt, and the next night at Raw, doled out or showed the brand new belt to everyone, and maybe Snoop Dogg could be there or whatever. But you basically have her have a new belt, trick it out where it's it's a nice heavy belt. It's just a better quality belt. No stupid butterfly on it. You get rid of the pink and call it the Women's Championship, not the Divas Championship. That I think would be great, and I think people would really love it and help the WWE. But I doubt they're going to do it because they're probably too afraid to do so. But that would be if I was writing or had Vince's ear, I would say that's what you should do. Fade the Bellas into oblivion, so to speak. They've been around for 10 years. They both want to basically get out of it. Nikki is looking to make money and wants to be married to John so she could be entitled to half of his stuff. And then you have Brie, who wants to have a kid, and she just said on a thing, and I know it's scripted on those shows. I just saw the one clip about her talking about, oh, Brian's career is over, and I think he should retire, and, you know, I just wish he would do that. You know, I understand what she's saying, but I don't think that's cool. Maybe it's scripted, but if she knows how important wrestling is to Brian, she shouldn't be going on, even if it's scripted. But I guess that's the whole point of the Divas show, that it's a scripted thing. So I just thought it was a dumb comment. And if she meant it truthfully, it's not cool, you know, for her to be saying that Brian should retire because she wants to have a kid. She's like, I want him to be around, and we have a kid, and she wants to be a mom. And yeah, that's all great, but that's really selfishly thinking of your oneself, not thinking much of her husband and what he wants to do. But that sounds like I'm bashing all of them. I'm not bashing all of them. Brian is one of my favorite wrestlers. The Bellas, I'm not crazy about. I don't hate them as people. I just don't like their characterless characters. And I'm so overseeing them for the past almost 10 years now. And they could have handled this a better way. But they had to douche AJ, had to stick it to her, and screw up and make her title run look like crap now, because now it's going to be associated with Nikki. But the true fans know. But there are a good percentage of fans that are young teenage girls and some teenage boys that like Nikki. I don't know many people that like the Bellas, and the guys that say she's hot, what does that mean? That's not a compliment. Oh, she's hot. Yeah, okay, great. Big deal. It's not the girl you want to have multiple kids with and have be, you know. Anyway, I'm not trying to bash. It sounds like I'm bashing. I'm not bashing. It's just not crazy about the characterless characters that they portray, and it's almost 10 years now, and I want to see women's wrestling, not a Divas division, which has been abysmally for the past 10 years. Anyway, thanks for stopping by and tuning in. I appreciate it. Peace. Namaste.